I was pretty mad at them for like trying to like home a missile at me. Like how dare they do that? But instead of having one toilet in there was another one next to it, and I just popped it and I was like, hey, this is for ruining my day. I was reading the news, I was like, what is going on? This is horrific. Hello and welcome to my video. So today I will be reading you the longest dream that I have had. So I had 3 lucid dreams. The word count of this dream journal entry is 1,363 words. So it was a wild night. The dreams were pretty intense as well, so yeah, hope you come along with me for the journey. While I'm telling you my dream, remember that it was all in one night. I think that is what makes it so kind of like mind-blowing, like just the length of it, the amount of content, I guess. It's just ridiculous. And by dream I mean like in one night. I don't really separate my dreams during the night because often if you actually have a better recall, you'll remember that although the plot is different, it kind of transitioned into that other plot throughout the dream. So yeah, it's the longest dream journal entry. And I will also be showing you some art during the course of this. And to aid you in understanding how much stuff happened in such a short time, I will also be adding like the real life time somewhere in the corner, which I have from when I woke up in the middle of the night. I would write some dot points of the dream plus the time. So it is the actual real life time interval between which the dreams happen. So I went to sleep at about 11:30. The average type of sleep pattern is that at the beginning of the night you don't have that many dreams, and that was somewhat true for this one as well, but still I did have some dreams in the first few hours of sleep. So at first in the dream I was just making one of these like little bead bracelets, and it was pretty chill. I was just like making the little bracelets, and yeah, it was just a short kind of like snippet. I don't remember much of it. The next one was a bit of a contrast. So, I guess like content worthy for heavy themes. So it was a pretty detailed dream I wrote here, but I didn't remember much of it. I just remember that I remembered a lot of detail, I guess. So it was a very unpleasant dream, and I think the main focus was on a character, Monty Don. That is a real-life gardener, not connected to the actual real-life gardener, hopefully, just the dream version of him. So he was helping with genociding a whole group of people, and I was reading the news, I was like, what is going on? This is horrific. And I just didn't expect that from him. I just knew him as the, little gardener, old person who does gardening. I was just horrified. So, yeah, that's probably not a very good start to this entry, but anyway, that was all just in the first chunk of my sleep, and I had a quick awakening, took some notes, and then it goes on. In this next chunk, it started out with my friend and I watching a show on the television, and I think the show was supposed to be It, like the clown one. I have actually never watched that movie in real life, but in the dream my friend decided to show it to me. And the settings were like a bit creepy, but a bit cheerful, like I guess like a clown. And the start of the show wasn't really scary, it was just calm and chill. I guess like the last chunk of the dreams. The main character was a little girl. So then we kind of get into watching another episode of it, and the girl chopped someone's head off. And I think it was like in self-defense. It was just like, oh friend, why did you show me this show? We're supposed to be going to sleep soon. Like, I don't think I can sleep after this. At least it wasn't like very realistic. It was more cartoony than anything, but it was still kind of like, oof, wish I didn't watch that right before sleep, So yeah, I just didn't like that. Then I was in a classroom for Death Note analysis. Yes, the anime Death Note, and it was a class for analyzing it, but for some reason that was just kind of like a thing, and no one really made a big deal of it. The actual content of the dream had nothing to do with it. It was just like, yeah, it's just a thing, a class for Death Note analysis. I was doing lab work in one of the other rooms, and there was a dude just sitting there doing some, you know, like dissections on a rat, and you can see inside of the dude's head. It was as if like the mouse was inside of his head and you could see through it. It was a bit messed up. I was just so confused. So yeah, it was like a little window, and I was wondering how it could fit in there, like, because it was kind of like it was something on top of his head, but also there was just no space for it. I just thought it was probably an optical illusion, like, okay. It was really weird though. Then a bit later, after the lab work stuff, I was inside of the movie we were watching earlier, which, no, there were a lot of people trying to kill each other. It was a bit scary, obviously, because, you know, like murder. A bit scary. But yeah, I wasn't like horrified, but it was a bit like, oof, you know? And I remember there being a large, like, yellow room. At some point someone had like a homing missile, but it looked like a pair of golden binoculars, and then I think maybe you'd look at someone and it's like, pew, like, you know, homes at the person and explodes them or something. And I was just flying around the room, trying to hide, like just floating. I didn't have any kind of like jetpack, nothing like that. I was just like, ooh, trying to hide, like, oof, this isn't very good. Probably should, you know, hide away somewhere. But there wasn't really anywhere I could hide properly. Like, I don't remember what happened between then and then the next part, but I was still in the same building, but I was now in a different room. It was a bit smaller, and it was yellow like previously, but it was my room. Which, my room was, I don't know, you can probably see it's not like fully yellow. So I was just like sitting there like, oh, doing a reality check. Just seeing, is this a dream? But it wasn't working. Like, it was just like, see, my hand is normal. That was how it was in the dream. It was just, yeah, it was just like, oh, what is going on? Like, they were just not working. But then I was kind of still suspicious, because, you know, my room isn't yellow in real life, so I was just kind of thinking something is off here. And then I decided that it was a dream anyway. Sometimes reality checks can help you figure out it's a dream even if they don't work, because it makes you kind of think. And this is what happened in this scenario. So I left the room and I saw the person with the homing missile there. And I was just kind of like, I don't know, since it was kind of really creepy, I was just kind of like, ugh. So I was pretty mad at them for like trying to like home a missile at me. Like, how dare they do that? So they were holding like a little balloon, like one of those helium balloons, and I just popped it and I was like, hey, this is for ruining my day. Yeah, and I think I woke up after that, or maybe I just forgot the rest of the lucid dream, because here it says that I woke up. So this next chunk, it was more of like an online dream. So I was going to post a photo of my friend and I online, but crop out our faces. It was hard though, because my friend was much shorter than me, so like hard to crop out both of our faces without like cropping out. I think I was maybe trying to show our clothes in the photo. So then after I posted that photo, I got a message on the website saying that I should have removed the metadata from the photo because someone could find me. And I was just remember finding like that part being kind of like creepy, because, you know, like, oof, is that person gonna do something? Like, I don't know, it just felt like a threat. Then after that, there was a long series of lucids and false awakenings that I don't remember the details of. I didn't even include them in the 3 lucid dreams count, so I guess there could have been more. So false awakening, if you don't know, just so it makes sense to you, is just when you like wake up in the dream, but you haven't actually wake up, hence, you know, false awakening. So it's just dreaming about waking up. So that kept happening. Like, I would be like, I'm in a dream, then I'd wake up, and then I'd be like, oh, I guess I'm woken up now, but then I'd be like, wait, it's still a dream, and that kept happening. I remember them being all a little bit creepy, but I don't really remember like the details of them. So the next part, I was in this kind of like concrete looking room, and I dropped a necklace into this whole vent type of thing, maybe like a drain, on the floor, and the necklace was kind of like this flower bracelet. I don't know if you can see it. So it was with flowers, except it was yellow, and yellow flowers with green stem. Yeah, that was dropped inside of the vent, and I was just kind of looking at it. The room was kind of like creepy because it was made out of concrete and also felt like a little bit moist. For some reason, the necklace dropping into the vent made me realize that I am in a dream. But I don't think I was like the highest lucidity, because I didn't remember that I had like dream goals to do. yeah, I was there in that room with my friend who had a plushie. So it was a banana plushie. I don't know if you know, it's like from an anime. My friend has one of those in real life. But in the dream, it was like one of those plastic kind of creepy mannequins. And I remember hugging it because, you know, it's a plushie. But I also remember having like, since it's plastic, like it was uncomfortable to hug because it also had like really hard plastic boobs, which was just like, oof. No, it wasn't nice. It was really creepy. And then my friend was upset that I took that plushie from them, so I gave it back. But I remember it was just a little bit weird and creepy. So then I woke up again. So I didn't actually wake up. I think that was the last kind of lucid dream in the chain of false awakenings and lucid dreams, and had a false awakening again. This time I was in my backyard. And I remember looking around and seeing some melon plants there. There was just a lot of like large watermelon plants, like not just tiny little sprouts, like fully grown, matured watermelon plants in pots. And I was just kind of thinking, like, you're not supposed to really put them like that, because I think they were meant to be stolen and transplanted into your garden. I was just kind of thinking how watermelons don't really like being transplanted, so why did you put them in pots? And they already had like big watermelons on them, so it was just a bit strange, because no one would really like sell stuff like that, because I mean it would take a long time to grow the plant, and then you can't transplant watermelons very well, so that kind of made me suspicious that it was a dream. I was just like, wait, this gardening stuff is inaccurate. So then I was kind of inspecting the world. I was looking out into the distance, and it didn't look like my normal backyard. It had like a big empty field, and there was no fence surrounding my backyard either. It was just, yeah, just no fence, and then a big empty grass field. And then there were like some houses on the other side or something. And for some reason I thought that was normal. Like I had false memories of it actually being like how my backyard is in real life. So I was like, yeah, no fence, that's normal. But what made me still suspicious that it was a dream is the melons. So I was just thinking, nah, it's still a dream, because the melons, like that is inaccurate. That is an inaccurate gardening fact. So then I jumped up and started flying, which, yeah, basically confirmed that it's a dream, doesn't really happen in real life. And there was a beach, like, behind our house. Kind of close, but not too close. And I remembered my dream goal of swimming with fish, just in the ocean, because it sounds nice, right? Because you if you want to, you can breathe underwater in lucid dreams, so you can just swim around, look at the fishes, like snorkeling, but less wet, I guess. So I flew above the water, and I was just looking, and I was thinking, oh, maybe it's a little bit cold. But then I thought, the water doesn't have to be cold because it's a dream, and I thought that maybe I'm just cold in real life, so that's why I'm kind of like feeling a bit chilly. So then I dived into the water. So the temperature was fine, so that was good, but there were no fish in it, which was a bit annoying. So I was just kind of swimming around in the empty water trying to look for fish, but there were no fish. So then I kind of just flew above the water for a bit, occasionally like diving in and trying to see if there's fish in there, but there were no fish, which was pretty disappointing and pretty annoying, but it was still fun. It was kind of fun. And then I woke up soon after that. So in the next jump, there was some kind of a website where you could look at Minecraft Comes Alive mod houses that have been lived in. So I think that's a real mod in real life. But yeah, so I was just looking around in the house, and it looked pretty messy. Probably like children lived there and messed it up. And there were also a bunch of like little pink erasers. Yeah, I was just walking around in that house, and I made tea after that to drink. And then there was also like a little short dream of me posting in a forum and then getting banned for no reason. I was just like, why did they ban me? So that was a bit weird. So then I was in a store just trying to buy some things, but I remember the things at that store being pretty expensive, so I was trying to look around if there were any cheaper ones, but also I was kind of worried about the quality. And yeah, that was basically like a little short snippet of a dream. I mean, I guess it's not like tiny one, but yeah, it didn't have any interesting details. And then, so the next one is a bit weird. I just needed to pee in the dream for some reason, so I was trying to find a toilet. I found a toilet, I went in, and then my friend comes in after me, and I was just kind of like, what are you doing? I'm just trying to pee. But there wasn't like a Like, it was just like a regular bathroom, but instead of having one toilet in there was another one next to it. So my friend sat next to me and was just kind of chatting to me. Like, it felt kind of off. Like, it felt like something about this is wrong, and I felt kind of uncomfortable. Like, what are you doing? I'm just trying to pee. But I kind of felt like maybe it's just me thinking this is weird and everyone else thinks that this is just fine and normal. And so yeah, that was just a bit of a weird one, and it was also pretty short. So then in the next one I was getting ready for a job interview, and I was talking to some people who were telling me that the workers of Oreo factories get exploited. So I was just kind of like, oh, that doesn't sound very good. Because they had to paint all of the Oreos by hand. So in this dream, the Oreos were actually yellow, not brown. And they would have to paint, like, the little cookies with little patterns. They'd have to paint like shadows onto them, and it was just taking ages. And I was just thinking, oh, that's probably not good, because I painted one of the Oreos and my hand was sore just after one, and I was just like, oh yeah, that is not very good. Not very good working conditions. It's just kind of funny, like they were painting the Oreos. So after that I was actually like at the job interview, and then I was going to hand them my resume, but I realized I left it in the car, so that was pretty awkward. So I quickly went to the car park to look for my car, but then I couldn't find my car keys, so I was just looking around in my bag. I kept looking like, oh, where's my car keys? But I kept finding USBs, which was a bit strange. Then I finally found some car keys, but there were 3 of them, and I was like, which one of them is for my car? So I was walking around the car park pressing the buttons, because I couldn't even see my car anywhere, so I was just trying to see if any of the cars would beep and I could like come in and get my resume out. But then there was a cop there, and they were kind of looking at me like, oh, are you trying to steal the cars? So then they told me that some of the cars were recently stolen, and I was like, oh no. And they mentioned the models of the cars that were stolen, and they mentioned one that sounds like maybe my model of car, but I wasn't sure because it's like, you know, car words. And I was like, oh, well, my number plate was this, and they were like, oh yeah, that was one of the ones which was stolen. I was just kind of like thinking, bro, what is going on? It was so annoying. And there was also like a little snippet at the end of my brother going to Tasmania and bringing the car on the plane. Yeah, I feel like maybe there's a gap somewhere in my memory, but also like either way it's a bit strange. And then I wake up at 9 a.m. So as you could see, that was a really long night of dreams, pretty intense in some places and pretty chill in some places actually. It probably took me like an hour to write it all down, maybe even a bit longer, and it just felt like hours and hours. I don't think normally people have that much REM sleep, which is when you have dreams in a night, but I think since I got like barely any sleep one of the previous nights, kind of came crashing down, just gave me a bunch of it. If you're interested in any of my other dream experiences, or if you want to learn how to lucid dream, I have some tutorials, so you might want to check them out. Let me know if you've ever had a really long dream like that, because I know some people have said that because time perception can be a bit wrong in dreams sometimes. Like my friend said that sometimes their dreams feel like days. But like the weird thing is that this one felt so detailed, so it wasn't like just cutting bits like in a movie. So yeah, let me know if you want to hear some of my other dream stories. I have a bunch of kind of weird and funny ones. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you all next time. Bye!